Welcome back to the JoinTheTrades.com interview series, where we talk to tradespeople and learn more about successful careers straight from the source. Today I'm here with Micheal Pieson, a field development manager in Pennsylvania with 19 years of experience in the field. Hey Micheal, how are you?
Good, crew. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for having me on your show.
It's my pleasure, brother. Thank you for being here. How's
Thank you.
the weather there right now?
Weather's actually better than it was. Christmas just passed here, and the 23rd was pretty nasty and cold, and then it got down to about 12 degrees, which is unseasonably cold typically for Pennsylvania, this side of Pennsylvania right now. But that's all right. We'll take it. It wasn't too bad, and not too much damage, so it was pretty nice.
Good, man. I'm glad that you guys had a safe, warm holiday overall.
Yeah, it was very pleasant. Yes.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I am 42 years old. I started in the trade when I was 21. I started at I was in college. I met my wife. We decided that she was a senior. I was a freshman. She was graduating. I was not. We decided that we were going to start our life and that I'd find another way to complete my education. I wanted to be a history professor. I wanted the summers off so I could lifeguard and have a good time in the summer and not have too many responsibilities and only have to, deal with kids every now and then. And my mom and my girlfriend and everybody else were like, dude, you don't want to do that. You're going to be miserable all winter and you're going to lose yourself all summer. Like, you need a little bit of discipline in your life, and this doesn't sound like a good plan for you. I was like, all right, well, I'll figure it out. And I started go to Moravian College. I worked there as a crew person, and when you work there, you get to go to school for free. That was my whole goal, is to get my education as free as I possibly could get it. I started in the facilities department, helping out the electrician, changing outlets, changing wires out, thousands and thousands of ballasts in their library and their common buildings. Learned a whole bunch about electricity from him. He was amazing. Got to work in the dorms, got to change out breakers, got to change out entire panels, and that was a really great start there. And I also got to work with the plumbers. You'd be amazed at what those kids can flush down a toilet. We have entire teddy bears, cell phones. Oh my gosh, just an entire entire booklet of pens, like in a little zipper pouch, entire zipper pouch of pens. Man, we pulled so much out of those pipes. It was I learned that I did not want to be a plumber because of the places they have to go and some of the things they have to do. It's a great trade and it pays very well, but I'm a little bit too squeamish for it. I got to work with the HVAC guys. Yeah, I got to work with the HVAC guys, and they have a lot of like PTAC units, like through the wall units, and got to clean all those out. They taught me about how the compressor works and the refrigeration cycle and all that other really neat stuff. And I thought it was pretty neat. But the day that I realized that I really wanted to do this is I went into their science building, and they had a big common return. The whole building is piped together. They have this giant return room where they take all the lab air and they force it through filters before they eject it outside. And it's probably 20 by 30 by 40 foot tall room. And the walls, they're all filters. And I'm like, how are we going to change these? And he's like, oh, it's easy. Here, watch. And he had put this little thing on the bottom. He started cranked the filter right down off the wall. I was like, oh, that's really neat. Just like foam. That's pretty neat. He's like, you want to put the new one up? I was like, yeah, how do I do it? He's like, just put it there against the bottom and roll it up. And it was like when you throw a roll of toilet paper and it kind of like unrolls as it goes through the air. It just sucked that filter right up to the wall. And I was like, that's it. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. This was so cool. And you get to go places that nobody else ever gets to go. So that's how I started in the trade. I went to a bunch of different companies after that. Went to the feeder school for Moravian College, Moravian Academy. I went there as a HVAC technician for them. He actually paid for most of my educational training for HVAC. He got me my indoor environmental controls degree, and also, without knowing it, paid for my electrician's license and training as well. Because
Nice.
hey, I was like, hey, I really want to be an electrician. He's like, no, no, you don't want to be an electrician. You want to be an HVAC guy. I need an HVAC guy, so you're gonna do that. I'm like, all right. Well, like I need to know a lot of electricity to be an HVAC guy. He's like, yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'm like, okay, so like they go hand in hand. They go like this. And my father-in-law actually was like, don't be upset that he's not gonna do that. Just do it anyways. It's fine. You have to know both, or you can't you're not going to be successful in as an HVAC person. Everything runs on electricity. So got my education through there. Stayed there a couple of years. They didn't have a lot of equipment, and when you're maintaining things properly, things don't normally break unless it's a major breakdown. And then if it's a major breakdown, he was calling other people in, and that was kind of disappointing because I wanted to do my trade. I was like, I want to do this. I know this stuff now. I'm good at it. I want to do these things. So I ended up going to one of my professor's companies. At that time, they were Applied Energy Management. They went through like 7 different names, though. It was one of those companies. Every year they changed their name. But they did a lot of really neat work. They did a lot of really neat work. They did public work. I got to be on a lot of rate jobs, which is very nice when I was a younger individual. Rate work is basically the Davis-Bacon Wage Act. Davis-Bacon Wage Act makes it fair for union and non-union companies to compete on the same job. So a union company has to pay their guys a certain amount of money. It just prevents public companies from coming in and underpaying their guys and giving the job super cheap. So it kind of levels the playing field there on the labor side a little bit, so that everybody's got a fair shot at it. So the non-union people have to pay their employees union wages, which is great for us. It was wonderful. It was one job I was making like $97 an hour. My total package was like 120. It was fantastic as like a 24, 25-year-old kid. That was really nice. At that time I had a baby. Everybody was super happy about that. So I went through those companies, and then I managed a little bit at another company. That was okay. Learned that management without education and structure is submarine with screen doors. It is doomed to fail, and will cause tons of problems for everybody and everything. And so I decided that I'd leave that role. And I was in our convenience store, like gas station, our gas and go type place called Wawa out here in PA. And I saw this technician in line at the counter getting ready to check out. Tall guy, a little bit older, super happy. I'm like, what is up with this guy? Where does he work for? I want to be like him. And it was the Tustin Group, the company that I've been working for the past 9 years now. And they actually, I called them, and I had a job. Went outside when he was leaving. I tried to talk to him in line, but he was too quick. I followed him outside, dropped my food, followed him outside, wrote down the number on the side of the van, got back in my van after I paid for everything, and called him. I had an interview a week later, and I was hired 2 weeks later. So the rest was history. There, I started as a regular technician, doing regular service and maintenance and repair for HVAC, all commercial. In fact, all of my career has been either commercial or institutional, and that's been pretty nice. I only have ever done residential, like, on the side and for friends and family. But Tustin was great. They actually had an HR department. They really took care of their employees. They gave you vacation. They cared about your health and safety, which was a real surprise and a learning curve for me after the companies that I'd worked for in the past. They do a wonderful job. They recognize and reward for people that go above and beyond. I like to say now that it only takes 10%. It takes 10% to be a little bit better than what you could be, or not somebody else, but what they're expecting. And that 10% is so easy to make. For me, it was picking up the phone, helping other technicians with their difficult service calls, doing the Googling that other people didn't know how to do or were intimidated to do or didn't know how to look up the resources, and being there for customers that were having a really hard time. So being there, being able to talk them out of really difficult situations, reassure them that they're going to be okay and that we've got this under control. They promoted me to field service supervisor, which was great. I got a title for what I was doing already. And then one day I was in a soft skills class that one of our executives had put on, and I could tell this person worked so hard on this program. And then there's a bunch of technicians in the room, so everybody's the hardened. I just want to be on work. I don't need to be here right now. They got their hats down. They're not paying attention. They're sighing. One guy's sleeping in the back. She's trying so hard. She's charismatic and up there blowing up and throwing candy at people and wake up and trying to get everybody to participate. And I'm one of the guys that's shooting my hand up, answering questions and trying to participate in my our COO at the time saw me and he's like, yeah, that guy, I want him to run our apprenticeship. So I got in front of the apprenticeship after, they scared me like heck. They called me into the office. They had a piece of paper face down on the table. And they're like, Mike, you need to sit down. I was like, oh man, what did I do? I thought everything was okay. What's going on here? Yeah. And apparently my general manager and service manager were very upset to lose me. And I was able to, they did that because they didn't want to let me go. They wanted me to be like, oh, no, I don't want to go. But I did. I ended up going and starting to manage their apprenticeship. I managed it through another company that was hosting it, and they were good. They do really good for people that need apprenticeship, have no idea how to do it for themselves, or doing it for legal requirements. But we had some issues with teachers and the education that our technicians were getting, and the reliability of the education they were getting. So I was like, hey, in doing this, I learned a ton of stuff about digital curriculum and how to put a curriculum together and what it takes, and I said, can I take a stab at it? And he was like, sure, yeah, go ahead, build something. So he let me build a curriculum, put it all digital. Wow. I got it all laid out, got it all digital, got it all mashed together. It's 8 different textbooks. It's pretty robust. And so one textbook will be really strong in a bunch of areas, but really weak in a bunch of the other areas. And I was like, that's not good enough. So I just kept adding things onto it and rearranging the chapters and putting the stuff together so that it all fit, so that it flowed, and so that it was appropriate, for the learning level at the time. And over the course of the 4 years, I worked with the Department of Labor. Eventually got it approved. We brought it to Micheal and Nicole Bass of SP Group. And we're like, hey, Micheal, can you want to do anything with this? And she absolutely took a hold of it, was very emotionally involved, ran with it, in fact, really took ownership and has changed it from what I thought was a really amazing program into something that I could not have even imagined. I could not have even imagined the program that it is today when I built it. Through the experts that we've tapped to help us critique and to build out our supporting systems and really add substance and backbone to everything that we had. Put it on a platform that everybody can access and will record time and education and education level, how they're doing on tests, where they are in the system, how often they're accessing the system, what engagement level they have, and it's really, really, really amazing. And now I always liked helping people, and I get to help people every single day now. I get to help people come up into the trade, a trade that I think is an amazing opportunity, And I think that it is a really great way to make a living, have a career that can take you from being a helper at at a college that knows nothing to somebody that's writing curriculum and can really has really mastered, well, as much as I can master what I have mastered through my experience. It's been pretty amazing.
Wow, Michael. I mean, I'm truly impressed. You're clearly a very passionate person, um, and you've risen through the ranks through your dedication and your desire to work hard and to learn and to now at this point clearly to help other people, which seems like you
Hmm.
find very rewarding.
Yes, I do. That is what gets me moving. That is what motivates me. That's what's special about our program. We are recognized as a high quality apprenticeship. Uh, on the apprenticeship side, we're recognized as a high quality apprenticeship. That means that uh, we hire equitably. We promote traditionally disenfranchised peoples. We make sure that we are tapping low income sectors of the population and inner city sectors of population. We are making sure that we are targeting females in the trade and trying to make all of our educational information and all of our the way that it's accessed as well, easy and accessible for anybody that has a smart device, and most people have smart devices today. So, and if they don't, I mean, we can always work something out. I know that there are programs that we can work with to get that, and that's another thing. We are not afraid to work with the veterans programs, with the cell phone programs, with the technology education programs and safety programs. We really care about what goes in to this, and that everybody has a chance to at least experience what we have to offer.
Wow. I mean, really, man, that's actually really beautiful that you have such a passion for helping people and making a difference. Because it would appear that you started as a young kid, got involved, always had a big heart and a whole lot of passion, found a niche, started helping other people, and you really, really increased, your education and the amount that you were able to affect people. It's pretty incredible.
It's
Congratulations.
really amazing. Oh, thank you, thank you. I don't know if I need congratulations, but I do appreciate that very much. It to me. I believe that education should be free for the people that are willing to do the work. Uh, if you're willing to do the work, it should be given freely, and you should be able to reap the benefits from that. I have concern with the way that our society has put value, monetary value, to educational systems that lead you down a path that sometimes isn't appropriate for you. Um, if you're going to be a doctor, that's awesome. You need as much education as you can get, and the best place to get that education is in an institution. If you're going to be a plumber, you probably don't need to go to a 2-year college. You probably don't need to go to a 4-year college. You probably need to find a company that has an apprenticeship that's going to hire you on, and give you structured training on the job and association with helping you train for your plumber's license. And that's the key, right there, to the earn and learn model instead of the earn and pay model. It's 100% different, except for the benefits that you reap out of it. The benefits that you reap out of it are amazing. Um, you, instead of having to wait 4 years to actually start your trade, you're starting your trade right away. You're
Yeah.
you're in that. You're experiencing it. You're getting that educational backing on it right away. You're working with experts in the industry, which is priceless. I know I talk to people. I have friends that are still in college, and they're like they're going for like psychology, or they're going for something like that, and they're like, I just wish that I could talk to somebody, on a regular basis about what they're doing every day and how they run their practice and this and that, like what it actually it's like, and not what I'm reading in the textbook here, and And it's exactly what that is for us. We get to ride around with the senior technician. The senior technician shows them all the little tricks and little neat things that we do in the trade, and the easy ways to do it and the safe ways to do it. Because what we do is dangerous. You can find yourself in really bad position if you're not careful, working around electricity, working around high pressure water and fire, and steam's one of the most powerful forces on earth.
Sure.
Yeah, so it's great to have somebody there that is an expert. I think
Yeah,
I
I imagine.
on a tangent there.
No, that's fine. It's a pleasure. It's nice to see someone who's passionate about what they do. Yeah, I imagine that is very, very helpful for younger people to have that mentor right there that's able to give them immediate feedback.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that is correct. So on the mentor side, we actually have a program right now for companies that don't have a lot of knowledge base, or don't have the time to dedicate to helping an apprentice out, but still want to have an apprenticeship program. Right now, we've got a program that actually allows them to tap me or one of our other senior technicians in SP Academy to monitor, check in with, give help to, and be available for, calls and support and things of that nature for an apprentice that doesn't have a journeyman in a company. We think it's the responsible thing to do. And also, without somebody guiding you through some of the educational material, it can be pretty confusing, trying to learn about, static pressure. Even if you're learning about inches of water columns, you say inches of water column to somebody and they kind of look at you like you got three heads. Inches of water column? How do you get water in a column? You measuring that? And tell them that, it's 27.7 inches of water column for one, PSI, and you're like, what? So, without having somebody explain the technical stuff and exactly how it applies to what we do every single day, it can be pretty difficult. So yeah, our mentorship program is pretty awesome, and I'm very excited about that. That should be, I think we're rolling that out very soon here if it's not already started. So yeah, it's
excellent.
Pretty great.
So you've told us about a lot of the pros of your field. Are there any cons that you'd like to talk about, mention?
Sure, absolutely. There's always cons. Pro side, you get to be on the roof when it's beautiful out and the sun's shining and there's a nice breeze and all you got to do is watch coils all day long. The con is that you're on that same roof when it is 12 degrees out and it's not snowing, because snow's not unpleasant. Like freezing rain is really unpleasant. 12 degrees, freezing rain, that's unpleasant. Also, that same roof in the middle of August when it's 99 degrees air temperature and the sun radiating its rays off the black roof. The roof area right there, probably 130 degrees, if not more than that. You put your wrench down for a couple minutes while you're doing whatever you're doing. You go to pick your wrench back up and you'll drop it real quick. It's hot. It gets hot. So those are some cons. Pro con, a lot of independence. There's a lot of independence, and you are kind of left to your own devices, more or less. You're treated responsibly and expected to do a job, which is for some people a con. Some people it's a positive, some people it's a con. I found it very awesome to have a little bit of freedom and anonymity, and as long as I was doing my work and getting my jobs done and my customers weren't complaining about me and they weren't getting calls from other drivers, then it was all good. It was great to have that freedom. You decide, you're like, oh gosh, I'm really hungry after that service call. I want to stop and grab a bag of fries or whatever, and no one's going to be like, what are you doing? It's okay. You get to make up your own day. Cons. It is if you don't want to make a lot of money, you're probably gonna hate the job. No, that was a fake one. Other cons. Sometimes customers can be a little bit difficult to work with. You're there and they're in a stressful situation. They have
Sure.
something that needs to work, and if it doesn't work, they could be losing hundreds of $1,000s a day. If they've got a printing press that goes down because you have to work on an intercooler that cools the oil, that keeps all the bearings cool, that cools the press that presses everything, and if that goes down, they can't run the press, and they've got like 7 guys standing around, waiting to put out that Rolling Stone magazine. They're union guys, and they're just sitting there, and we know how union guys get paid, and they get paid no matter what they're doing, and they're already there. You can't send them home, so you better get that machine up and running, or figure something out quick. So that can be stressful. But on the other side of that, you work on your skills, and you get good at that, and then you're a hero. And that's
Right.
that's amazing to be able to walk into a situation, reassure a customer, you're like, excuse me, you're going to be okay. I got this. Give me a couple of minutes. I'm going to look at what the problem is, figure out, come back to you with a solution, and I'll either have it fixed, or we'll have a plan to get it fixed today or as soon as possible. And to be able to have that skill and that confidence behind you to be able to do those things and then actually do them is amazing. I have walked into situations where there have been customers that like putting their finger in my face and why weren't you here half an hour ago, and raw. And when I'm leaving, they're literally hugging me. They're hugging me and so happy that I came, so happy that I was able to help them. I still get Christmas cards from some of my customers. It really, you're helping people out. You're helping people do things that they're passionate about by doing something that you're passionate about. And
Sure.
it's amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
I imagine it's nice to have a very clear cut result that you can stand back and say, oh, I've seen this affect people's life in a positive manner immediately.
Yes, it's amazing. It really is amazing. It really is.
Yeah, so many of us have worked in
Challenging.
other jobs so many of us have worked in careers where you don't have that tangible sense of reward immediately. You just kind of like, oh, I think I'm working on this, and there's some paperwork that may be accomplishing something somewhere. But this, I could actually go into a situation that's heated and actually put the fire out.
Yes, that's exactly right. And that is the instant gratification is definitely very, very rewarding and an amazing part of the job. And my ex-wife used to make fun of me about that all the time. If you had to wait 3 weeks for this to actually come to where it's supposed to be, you'd probably go crazy. Like, no, I need it fixed now. So instant gratification is pretty nice. It's
I'll
not
bet.
always like that. Sometimes you're on really long jobs, but then you get to go back and you drive by that school that you built, and you're like, yeah, I put all those rooftop units up there on that roof. See that one right there? That's where I got to cut the pipe and brazen this and do that, and it's really neat. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, working in a field where you can actually feel like you're making some kind of substantial, significant difference, where you can honestly step back and feel like, wow, that really mattered, is a nice thing for sure.
It really is. It really is. And the things we build help the economy move, help people get educated, help products get made, help call centers run more efficiently for everybody. Like those phone calls. If you don't have enough fresh air coming into a place like that, everybody's breathing out, talking all the time. The CO2 in the air makes everybody drowsy. They don't want to make phone calls, and we make sure that they've got the proper amount of airflow so that the CO2 level is exactly where it's supposed to be, and they feel energized and ready to make those phone calls.
Excellent. So listen, obviously you were cut out for this job for sure. But give us an idea of what characteristics are useful in an individual who'd be going in this field. Who's best suited for it?
Who's best suited for it? Um, Someone that has the drive to solve problems, um, someone that cares about what they're doing. I like to say that this job is like 90% customer service and 10% work, because it really is. If you can't deal with the people, it doesn't matter how good you can clean a coil. Um, most if you go and you irritate the customer to the point where they're like, get off my job site, they probably don't want you there to do anything ever again. So yeah, customer service, 90%, 10% is actually doing the work. The work is not difficult. The work is not difficult at all if you find mechanical things interesting at all. If you get pleasure out of taking something that's dirty and caked up with dirt and and like leaves and whatever else, and getting it back to a place where it's able to breathe again and flow air through it, and if you like to see the difference in how equipment runs from being dirty to clean or from being broken to fixed, or if you're a fixer, if you're someone that likes to fix things, or fix people, because really sometimes the people are more hurt than the machine is, that the machine's not working. So
Right.
being able to yeah, being able to someone that's got a little bit of empathy, someone that's got a little bit of care, and just can get enthusiastic about the little things in life, is someone that would really succeed in this trade, because it's all little stuff that adds up to an amazing end result.
Yeah, I feel you. That's very useful. Um, very many people have a lot of those traits though, and they'll find a way to incorporate it in
Mm-hmm.
there. You're clearly just perfectly cut out for the career itself, and for the ability to work with people. You're a people person, I can tell. Have a great personality, and clearly the desire to help people. So it's
Thank you.
worked out very well for you. What is, let's say, someone who is starting out, where
Mm-hmm.
would they want to begin? Where do they look? How do they take those first steps?
First, talk to your parents. If you're young, you're still at home, talk to your parents, tell them that you're interested in the trades and that you need them to go with you to see your guidance counselor, so that you can figure out all of the appropriate pathways uh, for you in your school district. If you do not, the way that our society is right now is changing. It's changing right now, but the way that our society is right now, the standard is to go to college. That is the ultimate goal in a lot of guidance counselors' eyes. That is the ultimate goal in a lot of the way that they weight um, their the way that they weight their education and rates, their graduation rates. I'm sorry, and they have a most schools in the United States right now have a responsibility to make sure that the populations that they are graduating are either gainfully employed, are going into a trade, going into post-secondary school, or going into an institution of some sort. If they don't have those things, if they have a high rate of people that are unaccounted for, they can lose a lot of funding. So they're very motivated to hear from companies like mine, hear from SB Academy, hear from apprenticeships, and the education that we have to give them. So yeah, first start with your guidance counselor. Tell your guidance counselor that, hey, I want to start exploring the trades. What is there out there? Uh, there are so many apprenticeable trades that you don't have to go to college for. That people really get wound up in the boot camps and the 2-year programs and the 18-month degrees. They're doing that to sell you. You don't want to be sold. You want to be educated. You want somebody to take you under their wing You want somebody to show you exactly how it's done in the field, and that's what apprenticeship does. So talk to your parents. Your parents, I'm sure, know a tradesperson. Tell your parents, does Uncle Johnny still do electrical work? Can I talk to him? Are there any unions in the area? You can go on Google and you can do an apprenticeship search. So if you go on Workforce Navigator, it's a web page through the Department of Labor. I'm sorry, is it Workforce GPS or Workforce Navigator? We'll put the link. Is it okay if we put the link later in the
yeah,
show?
we can put the link in there. Sure.
Okay. All right. So the that website, you can go on there. You can put in your zip code. You can actually search your area. 50 miles, 100 miles, 150 miles from your location, and search for a trade that you're interested in, any kind of apprenticeshipal trade. And if there's a company that is hosting an apprenticeship for that trade, they'll pop up on that. They'll pop up on the hosting side of it, and they give you all their contact information. You can contact them. You can tell them that you're looking for a chance in an apprenticeship, and get in contact and start the conversation that way. Also, while you're in school, don't be afraid of trade school. It's not like it was back in the day. Trade schools are very, very challenging. They're held to very high standards. The information that you're learning is going to be the foundations, the building blocks of your career for the rest of your life. And now that a lot of schools have to have occupational advisory committees to maintain their programs, their trade school programs, industry people like myself go to these schools, and we advise them on what their curriculum should look like, what we want from a graduate, what skills we want from a graduate when they're graduating, how many people we're looking for, what the industry looks like right now, new technologies that are coming out that they should be teaching in the classroom, and always soft skills. Showing up on time, saying what you're going to do, and then doing what you say are huge. And you believe it or not, that what I get from most of the teachers, those are the hardest things to teach somebody. So if you've got those things, yeah, come and see me. We'll have a chat. Definitely talk to your teachers. If you have a trade program in your school, talk to the director of the trades program. Make sure that they know your name. Make sure that they know you're interested. If you're out of school and you're looking to get started, so you're already a graduate from high school, definitely use that website. Put in your location. If you know anybody that is a tradesperson, talk to them, or you can go on to our site, Join the Trades, which should be the first thing that I say here. Join the Trades.
Something to also remember: jointhetrades.com. Yes.
Jointhetrades.com. So jointhetrades.com is going to be absolutely fantastic. The idea that they came up with is so cool. We'll have companies on there that are looking for apprentices, and not just for HVAC, for all trades. All trades are welcome, and it's going to be a great way to get people involved, and it's going to be a great way to get the young generation excited about the trades again. So
yeah, I mean, it basically seems like the younger generation at this point basically seems like it's been laid out for a long time with, and correct me if I'm wrong, with two options: the military or college, and has felt that they're either have to head one direction or the other, and then there are so many other options. More and more I'm finding out about trades that I didn't even realize were in the trade category. So the fact that there are people out there like you, the fact that there is jointhetrades.com, it's actually should start to make a real difference to the younger generation. it appears to me that so much of the younger generation is interested in sort of that freedom that you're talking about, not sitting in an office,
Mm-hmm.
not being confined by someone nonstop looking at your shoulder, but
Mm-hmm.
successfully accomplishing your goals, feeling good about yourself and proud about what you've accomplished, and then moving on, getting lunch, and moving on to the next gig. You know, maybe having to be, maybe the experience of being able to listen to a podcast on the road while you're headed to your next job, make a couple phone calls to
Exactly.
family. There's so much freedom.
Yeah. There is, and from what I've read about the generations coming up right now, is that having a sense of purpose, having a sense that they're doing something good for their community or for people or for a system that helps people, is huge, and that's exactly what we do. That's exactly what we do. We do that, um, and I mean the other thing that keeps me going is that every person that is on Social Security, I'm not Social Security, unemployment, it's about $16,000 a year. Which isn't that much when you think about it, but that's just the raw cost. That's the raw cost of what it costs to have somebody on unemployment. Now, think about all the people that need to handle their case, all the people that are getting paid by the government that aren't directly linked to their check, the people that have to sit in the unemployment office, all of the advertising and development and everything else that has to go into the systems that feed the unemployment. Now, every person that we're able to take out of that system and make a gainfully employed person will literally turn our communities around. It literally will turn our communities around, giving people pride, ownership over what they do, ownership of property, ownership of their own life, is amazing, and the trades have that, and we can give that to these people, to anybody that's willing to do it. Then the benefits that come with having somebody that's gainfully employed and is happy about their job are tenfold. They're able to coach little league. If they'll have free time, they're not going to be working 5 different jobs. They're going to be able to have a family. They're going to be able to enjoy their kids. They're going to be able to put themselves into their kids. They're going to be able to inject their personality and their way of thinking in their life. And a lot of people are so special, and to be able to give someone that has the drive to work 5 or 6 jobs and to support their family a change to where they can work one job and be comfortable and have that extra time to give back is just so priceless, and really should be really should be the way of life. But unfortunately, we have to. We're starting, and that will be it. That is our goal. Our goal is that everybody is gainfully employed and has a trade or a career or something they love to do, some kind of art or whatever it is, and we'll be living in some kind of utopia at that point. But yeah, really. But being able to give back to your community is huge, and having the capacity to be able to give back is even bigger. So that's what
Sure, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, Michael. You have so much information and so much passion. Is there anything else that you feel like you'd like to touch on real quick?
If you are an employer, start an apprenticeship. Go to jointhetrades.com. We will guide you on how to do it. If we don't have an apprenticeship in your section already, we'll figure it out. We will feed you with people that want to do the job that you are hosting. We will be super happy to give you any kind of advice and support on our system. And I'd also like to say to any of those employers that I'm talking to right now to go out and get involved. If we don't go to the schools, if we don't go to the young people, if we don't go to CareerLink, if we don't go to the one-stop shops, if we don't go to any of the job places, and we just sit at our desks and expect those people to come to us and expect these changes to happen just because they're going to happen. It's not going to happen. You need to go out, make friends with the instructor at the trade school, become part of the occupational advisory committee, volunteer to go and help them with testing on their end of the year or end of the graduating testing, like NOCTI is one of the ones that we do here. Help them out with NOCTI, help them out with testing the students on their skills that they've learned throughout the 3 or 4 years. Go to your community colleges. They have trades programs. They have occupational advisory committees too. Go start a club. Start a club for HVAC. Start a club for hairdressing. Start a club for nail technician. Teach kids how to do it on the side. Get them involved. Because if we don't do these things don't get done. And people don't get these experiences. And then somebody that's probably the best nail technician in the entire world is never going to be able to work with acrylic and discover that new way of doing something that is going to make you millions. So I hope everybody makes millions.
Yeah, that would be nice. So if anyone
really
would want to get a hold of you, Michael, if anyone wants to get a hold of you, is there a way that they can contact you?
Yes, I am on Twitter under my name. I am also on Facebook. If they are looking for me, they can go to Join the Trades, and I think my email is going to be on there. And that would be probably the easiest ways to contact me. If you want it, I don't know. I mean, I'll give my contact information, and if it can be at the bottom, like my work email, I can put my work email down there, and I'll entertain any emails from anyone.
That's very kind of you. Thank you, Michael. Thank you so much for being here. Your passion is contagious, to say the least.
Thank you, crew. I had a really great time talking to you, and I can't wait to meet you in person at some point.
Absolutely, brother. Thanks for making a difference.
You too. Thank you very much.